I'm gonna see the usual indicator. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You live.
It's live. Must be a delay on YouTube. All right, let me get the intro going. You want to go with the regular intro, or y'all want to go with the "Not Like Us" intro?
Sit there not like us.
Must it on that beat, go. Aye, mustard on the beat, ho, Debo, any rap nigga, he a freak throw. Man down, call her Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro. Nail a nigga to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabroni ass niggas trying to see Compton? The industry can hate me, fuck them all and they mama. How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton. Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up to score with him. Walking down whole time, I know he got some hoe in him. Pole on him, extort shit, bully the flow on him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any bitch that talk to
What's up? Pod Deep, episode 50, the big showdown. K-Dot versus the 6ix9ine God. We are back. Right now, you're just seeing 2. We got 1 coming, and we down 2 more. So, hey, this is Pod Deep. Like, follow, share. Right now, go ahead, Rod, kick it off.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
All right, so we're gonna get into the talk of the last couple of weeks. I think with our last podcast, we touched on this a little bit, but it hadn't quite escalated to what it did within the last 2 weeks. So, with all that being said, Kendrick Lamar, Drake, I guess by a byproduct, J. Cole, we all had this beef. Now that it's all done, settled. Who won and why? Uh, Jay, I'm gonna start with you.
Of course, I know Kendrick won. So Kendrick by a long shot. To me, Drake didn't even have a chance. He lost every round, made multiple mistakes with songs he put out, trying to goat Kendrick into putting out songs, making I guess you just call them lies, outright lies, or mistakes in the lyrics of the songs. So to me, sorry, Kendrick won by a long shot. He was, who do you have?
Hey, so when this thing started off, I still remain neutral. I'm a fan of Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole. When it came down to lyricists, I always was leaning more towards Kendrick. I know Drake made good pop music and stuff like that. So when our last episode, Kendrick hadn't responded. Only, I think at that point he only had the feature on the Fuke and Metro Boomin song. So since our last podcast, episode 49, the boy then dropped about 3 or 4 diss songs. And so I'm going to give the edge to Drake at the beginning, but Kendrick came back and shut it down. And I think for me, I like Family Matters. I like from Drake, and I like Push Ups. The Tupac AI song, it was clever, but to me, I think Drake lost in his execution. In Family Matters, I think he should have broke that up. It was 3 different dope beats, but I think he should have broke that up into three different songs. He dissed too many damn people on it. You know what I'm saying? He was flowing on it. He was flowing on push ups as well. But I thought Kendrick just hit more direct at him, and Euphoria was a great subtle. The intro was just fire to me. But then when he came with that Not Like Us, man, just ended it with the bop. It was just like, damn. I mean, even though Drake responded to that that's 6, man. That wasn't it. Like I was probably like 2 minutes into it, like, you need to fire your ghostwriter. So to me, Kendrick won. I think he won with the good strategy. He seemed like he was built for this. Uh, Drake did not back down. I give him a B minus with his execution. He had his ghostwriters on deck. They probably screwed him over, but he had them on deck. You know what I'm saying? Because when I went back to listen to push-ups end with the beginning of Family Matters. So that means he already had that damn song. I don't know why he waited so long to release it. So to me, Kendrick run with the execution. Good battle. I would love to see Cole jump into it, but that's it. That's my take.
Okay. So for as me, I remember when we first talked about this, I really wasn't as into it as the rest of you all were. And that was mainly because, like you say, we had only heard from Drake. We had heard the 2 songs from Drake, and then we had heard the J. Cole song / apology. And I'm not a fan of J. Cole. I mean, to be fair, I'm not really a fan of his. I'm damn sure not a fan of Drake. So I wasn't into it. But when Kendrick actually dropped, I didn't realize that I was a Kendrick fan. I was like, I always knew he could rap. It was nice, but sometimes this shit just didn't hit with me. Like I'm a fairly bright guy, I like to think, but this shit was over my head a lot of sometimes. So I kind of was, cool. I think the last album I listened to for him was the Damn album, and I don't know how many he dropped since then.
1.
But anyway, once he dropped, I was all in. I was all in to the point where we got our little text chat or whatever, and when this nigga just continuously dropping shit, man, that was like I was literally like couldn't sleep because I was like, man, I'm gonna fuck around, I'm gonna miss something, So of course, saying all that, to me it's Kendrick by a landslide. Like people who say Drake won, I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. I can't see it. Because his shit just didn't hit for me. And then at the end, he got beat with his own tactics. Like he was trying to, like early on in the beef, he making like party songs / diss songs. Kendrick is making diss songs, and then at the very end, he get a number one song out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But not like us. So, Kendrick is the winner. But one thing I don't understand rather, is all these motherfuckers talking about how it's bad for the culture and this shit. There's better things out there. This is distracting us from something. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, this is what hip hop was based on. This is hip hop. The essence of hip hop is I'm doper than you are. Oh, really? Oh, let's battle and see. What I'm saying? That's what hip hop was built on. Yeah. And people try to always compare it to other genres of music. Like, oh, you don't see rock and roll artists do this or R&B artists do it. I mean, because it's different. Hip hop is different. It's not like another genre. So it's going to, the rules of engagement are different. So I don't get these sucker ass niggas who talking about, oh, this is bad for the culture and whatnot. So anybody else got anything on as far as that?
Let me piggyback after that. I 100% agree with you because a few years ago, these same people had nothing to say when Drake went at Meek Mill, embodied him with back to back, and the shit got nominated for a Grammy and shit. Nobody had nothing. They were not coming to Meek Mill defense and saying, "Oh, Drake, you need to stop." I mean, from Russell Wilson, from Russell Simmons to Questlove to Boosie. If their favorite was not involved in winning, and they want to throw the white flag and stop it. You know, and the favorites of this rap battle was supposed to be was supposed to be Drake and J. Cole. But since both of them two took L's, and it's Kendrick that came out the victor, the small guy, the guy from California. Now all of a sudden, battling is a bad thing when that's all they do on the East Coast. That's all they motherfuckers do in ciphers
and they little pussy ass ciphers and shit.
Yeah, I mean, but that's all they do. But then when somebody and I was just telling Jay this off before we started rolling, I said just a few years ago, these same motherfuckers was talking about there's no way you could be in top 5 if you had a ghostwriter. So how all of a sudden you got Drake up and you know he ain't writing this shit? I don't get it. I mean, I thought he put forth a good effort. He just had, Elliot Wilson said it best. Drake seemed like he didn't take Kendrick serious in this battle.
What?
He seemed like he didn't really take him serious and give it a real put like his 100% effort in going at the diss and staying focused when it came to Kendrick and stuff. He really seemed like he just gave like a piss poor effort, and he paid for it.
What about you, Jay? How you feel about all these motherfuckers for the culture talking about it's like this is bad and all that shit?
It's a lot of old rapper hate to me. Like I saw Big Daddy Kane was saying he the fans ruined it because they were fact checking lines. And I actually went under the video and just commented, if you didn't at a certain point, if the fans are ruining the battle for you, just stop reading the comments, just listen to the music.
Right.
And so that's obvious. If something is annoying you, but you like a part of it, then you'll just cut off the part that's annoying you and just continue, listening to the music. So to me, that's just like it's almost like jealousy because maybe their rap battles didn't reach this height, or I could be reaching, but maybe Kane just really feels like he should have had a chance to battle Rakim back in the day. I don't know. It just seemed Questlove was hating too, talking about how Hit 'Em Up, didn't sound that well. And, the fans got on him. He kind of walked back his statement today. So it just seems like certain rappers just hating for no reason. Like it's not this is what rap needed. It's been a long time since I actually listened to whole songs, especially like replaying the songs back to back to back. Like Ronnie, you said you were excited. It's like Kendrick said, I make music that excites you. Drake, you make music that pacifies them. So, this guy, everybody united and excited. So I think this is what music needed right now. So, that's how I feel about it.
So, to another question related to this. What do you all think is so Kendrick? We got Kendrick as the winner, hands down. What was the best song? Not the catchiest song, not the number one song necessarily. But if Not Like Us is that song for you, then okay. But just what was your favorite song, I should say, out of Euphoria, 616, Meet the Grams, and Not Like Us? What was your favorite? Jay, I'm gonna start with you.
Damn, I forgot that.
My favorite song and best song come out of this is Euphoria. That's the most complete, slick song with he's saying something that's entertaining with with a good beat up under it. So the best quality song is Euphoria. Not Like Us is a hit, but he's obviously playing around. That's his club party jam. It's not a deep lyrical song. So to me, the best song is Euphoria.
What about you, Squeak?
Man, that's hard because Kendrick did his shit. If Euphoria is what he started with, and that was a hard ass jab he came with. Meet the Grams is fucking clever as fuck, and he ended that the same way he began that song. You know what I'm saying? With this is a battle with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just taking multiple shots at Drake, taking shots at his family, then ended it with taking shots at him. Not Like Us it is a clear 2024 West Coast anthem. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have to be no gang shit, but when you hear the beat, you got to do a little two-step with the shit. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's a hard one to pick because those are three different vibes and three different flavors and three different styles. That's what he was doing to Drake. Shit, for me, it's a shit. It would be a tie between Euphoria and Meet the Grams for me, really. And then I would still go with Not Like Us, but the beat for Not Like Us is phenomenal. Euphoria has the best beginning to me. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm gonna have to pick something, it'd be Meet the Grams. I like that.
Okay. So for me, I don't want to say I don't like Not Like Us because you can't not like it because of the catchiness.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, that ain't it for this this beef. Like you say, that's him like playing around and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was obviously I think Meet the Grams had the most impact for me, especially since the timing of it. Because Drake had just come with Family Matters, right? And less than shit. It seemed like 5 minutes later he hit with that Meet the Grams. So that motherfucker had the most impact for me. I think honestly my favorite is one you all kind of glossing over is that 616. That one I like that. I think that's my favorite. And he's not really, like the first part of the song, he really ain't getting at Drake, but then I heard, there's so many motherfuckers breaking down his lyrics and how they were tying things that he was saying in that first part of that song and how it related to the beef and all that. But I'm a big Al Green fan, so I love that sample.
I forgot all about that song.
So yeah, I think that's my favorite one, and it's short. It's the shortest one out of all of them. It's only like 3.5 minutes. And like I said, he's spending half of it not really getting at Drake indirect. You gotta fucking get out your fucking decoder ring and everything to kind of figure it out the first part, but then the second part he getting at him. So yeah, I like 616, and then that's my favorite. And to me, I think the strongest one. No, I guess Euphoria. I guess you got to look at Euphoria too, based on the fact that people were sitting around waiting, like when is he gonna respond?
Right.
And then he hit you with that. So I don't know if I can. I might have to backtrack when I said Meet the Grams was the most like. No, that motherfucker still was the most impactful to me, Meet the Grams. But Euphoria was dope too because, you waited for him to come and he finally did, and it was everything you had thought it would be. So
let's be fair. Pick your favorite Drake's diss song out of this. Just say the best one. Like this is the one for you, or I would have had him do this and just add something to it though, or pick a song that you thought he had some momentum, but he just kind of messed it up. Like, what would you do different?
I might be too much of a Drake hater because I just can't. I don't like any. Well, okay, maybe. So the tailor-made freestyle was stupid. Like, why the fuck would you? Like, Snoop ain't dead.
Right.
Like, why you got to get his AI voice? He ain't dead.
Right. Fuck with West Coast Legends trying to entice him and get him to respond. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't gonna respond.
So that was stupid. To push drop and give me 50. I didn't like that shit. I guess if I had to choose one, I guess it'd be Family Matters.
Yeah.
That would be.
What about you, Jay?
That would be it.
Oh yeah. I said Euphoria was the best.
No. We doing Drake. You got to pick a song.
I'm sorry, man.
No, you good.
Okay. None of the songs are that good to me, but if you're gonna go with which one is his best, and I don't even listen to it, so it's no replay value to me, but probably Push Ups. Yep. I try to listen to that Family Matters. It starts up, the beat at the beginning is good, but I'm one of the people who I dug too far into the actual lines. So when he's saying stuff, I'm like, that's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie. So I can't really get into it.
So, no, go ahead, Squeak.
I like Family Matters, and I like the last beats of Family Matters where he like accusing Kendrick of beating on his girl. Is it because you're back to the curve? You know, making fun of him being short and shit. You know, it was that part was funny to me. But I remember listening to it, you know, I remember being hype about the song because I fell asleep that Friday night, and I remember being hype. I said, "Ooh, shit, we got us a battle here." And I had checked the group text. Yeah, I was like, I think Kendrick dropped. You need to go look at it. I was like, huh? What you mean? How could he drop? Shit, what you talking about? Man, I looked that shit up and fucking Meet the Grams came on. I was like, hey, this shit is different. This is a different rap battle.
That I mean, this is all coming full circle for us because you know we talked about it you know, within the past couple of weeks. Well, actually, when this first kicked off, you know, what one of the questions I think I posed to everyone was, what was the best rap beef? And you know, I think universally it was Jay and Nas was the number one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, once you look, because well, okay, people said Pac and Big, but to me that really wasn't a rap battle because there really wasn't no back and forth record wise.
Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't. I think Jay and Nas on paper was the best rap battle, but what Kendrick and Drake did is what we expected from Jay and Nas. And they
no, this is the best. This is the best.
Yeah.
This blew that out the water because with all the being, I mean, if you really go back and think, it was only shit. Nas only did what, Ether?
Yeah.
And then a couple like lines in other songs.
It went from being direct to subliminal.
You know, first of all, this is Nas. I'm a Braveheart veteran, and y'all already know who I'm better than.
Yep.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
So it was only one song, Ether, and Jay had Takeover, and what was the other one?
Super Ugly.
Super Ugly, yeah. Super Ugly.
Blueprint 2. He had a whole Blueprint 2 was.
Yeah, but that was. In most people's eyes, he had already lost the battle by then.
Oh yeah.
You know, but so you know, we kind of already touched on this, but it was our next topic in regards to the battle and the rap OGs being their bias towards this current battle and saying they don't like it and it's not for the culture and all that shit. So I know we touched on it, but just kind of doubling back, why is that? Do you think it's because of they didn't get a chance to do what they needed to do with a particular person back then? Or is it because Drake is the industry favorite or he's the guy that everybody loves and the fact that he took this L, so now it's a problem? You know, if Drake had won, would these people still be saying, "Oh, this is bad for the culture," or would they, be championing like, "Yeah, this was the dopest rap battle we've ever seen"? So this, I know, like I said, we touched on it before, but if anybody want to just circle the block on it and just get some more comments, the floor is yours. Squeak, I'm gonna start with you.
I think Kendrick is such a unique MC that he is unable to be copied. You know, when you're a number one guy, most people copy your formula. So you're going to copy Kendrick. You're going to have to be honest. You're going to have to be truthful. You're going to have to tell it like it is. And a lot of them damn MCs ain't doing that. They're not rapping like that. To me, Kendrick is the MC Pac really wanted to be, what he first came out to be. But he didn't have the fan base to support him. Kendrick has a fan base. He don't really get played on the radio like that. And the dude do shows and sell out and people support him. There is a lane for smart MCs that really MC and people appreciate that shit. That shit goes worldly for him. He could travel to Canada and sell out shows. He could travel throughout the country and sell out shows. He can travel international and sell out the shows. And he don't have to talk the game banging shit, but he lived it. That's where he comes from. He don't have to talk about that kind of shit. And a lot of people are frustrated with that shit. They jealous of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So Drake keeps it even Steven. He doesn't have a lot of hardcore context about what's going on culturally or anything like that. It's always the party and the bullshit and the girls.
So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Right.
So I just want to kind of make sure I'm hearing you correctly. You're saying that rap OGs, current rappers, whatever, they're saying what they're saying about this beef because Kendrick is the one that won.
Yeah. Yeah. Their favorite is either Drake or J. Cole.
Okay.
So if your favorite is J. Cole and he got, let's say, Kendrick made him quit. So now you don't have a stake in it. So you take the Big Daddy Kane route, which is, oh, the fans, they turn me off, you know, whatever. Man, that was the wackest shit you ever said because you could read between the lines. His favorite is J. Cole. So instead of him just saying, you know, well, let me judge by what we have in there, it's the fans. You know, that means you don't want to give it up to the dude that's spitting. You know what I'm saying? Which is Kendrick. He's bodying this guy. You're not gonna even call. Well, I can see why he's not gonna call Drake out because he was ghostwriting for Biz Markie. You know what I'm saying? I can see why he's not gonna go down that route. But come on, man, you're a rap OG. Don't be no hater about this.
What about you, Jay? You think it's because Kendrick was the victor, or there's some other deep-seated hate reasons for their hate?
Okay, to me, there are two things going on with the OG rappers. Is some hate, possibly, like Kane is one side of the street where he was saying he didn't like it because of how the fans are overanalyzing the raps. And, you know, we talked and we said, okay, well, we agreed, I guess, to just listen to the music. If you don't like the comments, forget the, social media. That's how you fix that. So to be saying that seems like hate. And I was saying maybe he was, I don't want to call him jealous, but I just don't understand if you are really into rap and you look at the music and how Kendrick rolled out the music, how a song sound different. You look at what Drake put out, it's clear Kendrick won. So anybody else, especially a rapper, picking the other side just seems like it's hate for these petty reasons. They're not even really talking about the music. It's like some they either don't say what the reason is, like Gilly, Cameron, Mace. They just say, yeah, Drake is winning. But it just seems like it's some ulterior motive or hidden agenda behind their opinions.
Didn't Cam and Mace come around finally?
They did come around.
That seemed far-fetched. That seemed like they received a phone call or like, hey, ratings are going down. It just seemed gimmicky. It didn't seem genuine.
Oh, okay.
When they made that switch, it was a landslide in Kendrick's favor, at that point too.
Oh. Yeah. I didn't. Is Drake that popular amongst fellow rappers or rap OGs? I wouldn't think that he would be liked. I wouldn't think he would be popular with real rappers.
He's not. Go back 5 years, they was talking about his ass.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of difficult for me to be like, they're being this way because their man lost. I would think that, they would be championing the fact that Kendrick won.
No.
Because I wouldn't think that they would be on Drake's side of this beef.
What coast Kendrick come from?
West Coast.
Exactly. Why would they
but Drake, it ain't like Drake from the East Coast though.
But why would they ever give it up to a West Coast? They never. They always gonna find a way to diminish the West Coast. If it was Ice Cube at the top, he talking gangster shit. He talking gangster shit. Not like New York is a safe place to be around. You know what I'm saying? Like this, it's robbers and killers all throughout the country. So East Coast cats have always, you know what I'm saying, not really saluted the dope MC that's coming up and stuff like that. They may give a compliment, but what they never gonna do, I see you, King. They ain't doing that shit. They're not gonna do that shit at all. So yeah, that's gonna make them slide towards Drake, even though he got about 15 motherfucking writers. You know what I'm saying? And when you hear him talk, you know, you like, is this a politician or is it a rapper? You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't sound nothing like a rapper. And I'm not gonna knock him for that, you know what I'm saying? Which is probably why he doesn't do the black media, you know what I'm saying? But you could clearly, the same shit Eminem get credit for, Kendrick get knocked for. Eminem can speak honest about his upcoming and rap about this shit the same way Tupac can. And Tupac is not here to accept his flowers. But when Kendrick does that, from the East Coast standpoint, that shit is met with deaf ears and he's weird. Because from the OG standpoint, Kendrick is not cut from any one of their trees. He's nobody on the East Coast. He's not from any of their trees. It's Lil Wayne, Pac, and Eminem. That's the tree he's from. That's the style that he uses along with Corrupt. So he gives honor to them cats, but he said it in not like us, you know, like the industry, fuck him. You know what I'm saying? That's he's speaking on that shit. You can clearly see. And they ain't never forget that motherfucker when he said he was king of New York. They never forgave that nigga for that shit. You know what I'm saying? That control verse that he named everybody in his peer group that he's trying to be better than, it got so many response from other rappers that he wasn't even mentioning. From Fabulous to Papoose and man, no, all of them was taking shots at him, man. All of them was taking shots at him.
Okay. And I got one question, and it's still related to this. So, do you all think that it is true that Universal is trying to get him to, or was trying to get him to apologize?
I don't think that's true.
No, I don't think so. I think, you know,
so?
Kendrick has like 3 songs in the top 5. Drake, that Family Matters, I think is number 7. So they occupy like 4 of the, maybe 5 of the like that is still on the charts too. So all this whole beef occupies like half of the top 10. And, you know, record companies are eating off that. So I don't think they would say, you know, stop it. They probably wanted to keep going.
Well, what the rumor was about the pedophile stuff and how they felt that how they felt like that was going to damage Drake's brand.
That's a good point.
So
no, that ain't no Kendrick. That's, you know, Drake was saying damage control and shit like that. He would need that.
You know what? I think deep down inside we feel bad for Drake because this far into the conversation, this is the first time anybody mentioned that pedo stuff. That's so big. That should have been at the top.
But to be, I look at it like this. I could never shit on you for trying to be great. I could never shit on you for trying to be great and coming up short. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a boxing fan, so some of my favorite boxers got beat up for trying to be for Durn to be great. I could never tease you and laugh at you for doing that. Even though I've been saying dude got ghostwriters. That was one of my one things is that if you do have ghostwriters, you probably couldn't do freestyles about somebody. But he's changed the direction on that. That motherfucker paid them overtime to put up with this shit. You know what I'm saying? And he challenged one of the best. What Kendrick did wasn't the smartest thing to be going in Drake and Cole, 2 guys that are at the top at the same time. That shit ain't smart. I didn't think the dude had shit in him, but he did his homework. So I would be real curious to see what kind of dirt he would have had on J. Cole ass. I'd have been real curious because I really wanted to see all this shit. I really wanted to see how that shit was gonna play out.
I know we got other topics. We're gonna get to them, but I still got some more for this. So, how does Drake come back from this? Can he come back?
Yeah.
And then secondly, how does he come back? The floor is open.
Let me take that one.
Go ahead.
To piggyback on that last question, Drake said you're short, you beat your wife, and the kid is not yours. And Kendrick like went over the top and said, "Oh yeah, you're a pedophile," and just ran with it. So he just like trumped him. But how
And you
does
have a
Drake
daughter
come?
that you don't claim.
Yeah, all that. He just went over the top. But he warned him, "Don't play with my family, and I won't play with you."
So before you get started, Jay. So do you all think the pedophile stuff he just made it up?
All fair love and love war to me.
No,
So,
I'm asking. You think is it made up? The pedophile stuff.
I would think it would be, but the last song, what is it called? The Heart Six, dealt with him just really trying to deflect from it. When I thought that he probably should have just been dissing, but he spent that entire song defending. I was like, man, you sound guilty.
Don't lose your train of thought, Jay. I know you was about to answer that one question, but just yes or no. Do you think the pedophile stuff was just Kendrick? Just it wasn't true. That's basically. Is it true? Do you think it's true?
I think it's not true. I think he just leaned on some of the shady stuff he has done in the past, kissing a 17-year-old kid on stage after he knew she was 17, dating the young women. I think he just took that and ran with it. I don't think you can put that jacket on somebody until you actually not convicted, until you actually have evidence, real evidence. I don't think that's a jacket you can just put on somebody.
Let me ask you a question. Wasn't he rumored to mess with Kylie Jenner around that time? Tiger was messing with her right before Travis.
A few young ones. Some chick who just turned 18. He shut down a restaurant, went on a date with, and people were like, "Okay, you didn't just start messing with her when she was 18. So what was going on when she was 17?" It's a few of them. That's the other 17-year-old is Millie Bobby Brown, the girl from Stranger Things. He was texting when she was 14. So it's like a string of like circumstances.
It's smoke there.
So what I'm hearing is it ain't like she just made some shit up.
Yeah.
No, it's not just made up. Like I'm mad at you. You a pedophile. It's some evidence kind of leading in that direction.
Okay.
That Dave and Buster's picture you sent me where he just hangs out at Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, him DJing.
Yeah, that's weird.
That is. And I kind of chalked it up. I said, well, maybe he's DJing for his son's birthday party, So I kind of didn't want to believe it was him. I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of didn't want to believe it was him, but shit, it damn near looked like him. So
it's just like R. Kelly popping up at McDonald's all the time.
Yes. And that happened in the St. Louis concert when he got kicked off stage. Well, when he left the concert and went to McDonald's in St. Louis.
He's working the drive-through or some shit.
Yes.
Yeah. You notice where them teen girls be at working.
Yes.
All right. So circling back. So Jay was on you. Drake come back, and how does he come back?
Drake comes back. He still has his core fan base. All he needs is a hit. It may take him 2 or 3, 1 or 2 misses before he gets his hit, because people are on his ass. I'm still following the social media.
The BBL Drizzy shit, like
that's shit right there.
People are on his ass. It's not over.
Mix that shit.
Yeah, the social media beef is still going. But how does he come back? You have to hit, like he did with when he lost to Pusha T. You have to, release hits, and then people will forget, and all of a sudden you're not a colonizer no more. You just back to Drake. But how he does not come back is if any kids pop out, any sex cases, any stuff like that pops out, then there's no coming back. I take that back. A kid pops out, he can come back. A sex case, he's probably done.
He gonna do what they always do in the industry. If Kanye can come back after doing popping all that shit and this, he's just gonna take this year off. He's gonna take this summer off. He is the type of artist that he could link with you and get a hit that way, or he can get a hit on his own. He can do it with an R&B song. He can do it just with a pop song. I mean, with a song, or he could do it with a feature. You know what I'm saying? Which is something that a lot of OGs haven't done. We saw Busta Rhymes kind of do that formula where Busta Rhymes would jump on the remix and stuff like that. What Drake did is something different. He would lend a verse to your song. You know what I'm saying? And he would do that to a lot of up and coming artists, Kendrick, J. Cole. So yeah, I don't think and he got the fan base. So he got the formula. So he's just gonna take this year off probably. He'll be right back in the mix. You're on mute, Rodney. Can't hear you.
So how does Drake come back? I'll go again until you fix it. Can you hear us, Rodney? Rodney, you're on mute. Did I do it? Yeah, you're on mute.
We can't hear you.
Okay. Say something. Still on mute.
Hang up and come back. Yeah, I see it now. You on mute. Okay.
That's
hang
him
up and come back.
turning it on and off. We still can't hear you.
Yeah, hang up and come back. So Drake, give me the reason why you think this was the greatest hip hop battle.
Two biggest artists ever. Most eyes on the battle around the world. So many number of people tuned in watching this. The way that it rolled out, Kendrick made this a must-see sport, must-see TV.
Mm-hmm.
The way he just strategically placed his music when he dropped it, like you said earlier about Drake begging, drop. And then when he started dropping the music, it was just a timing that we have never seen before. The way he stepped on Family Matters within 20 or 30 minutes after coming out with a response to that song.
Mm-hmm.
It's the size of the artist, their skill level, how big they are, the way the music came out, the quality of the music. How J. Cole played a part in this too with him quitting. That kind of ramped it up too. So he played his part too. Not quit. He actually, put out the song and then quit. But he played a part in this too. He called some straight shots too.
He did.
And Drake, threw a shot at him too.
He sure did. I would agree. For me, I think they really took advantage of the internet and social media. They didn't need the radio. This is probably one of the first times I've listened to.
Can y'all hear me now?
We can hear you now. We're talking about why we're speaking on why this was the best hip hop battle in history. And to me, this is the first rap battle. Go ahead.
Let me sorry to cut you off, but I want to answer the question that I posed earlier as far as will he come back? Can he come back? Or can he come back and how? Unfortunately, in today's world, he will come back. Unfortunately, because we don't really care about nothing. And well, think about this: when 50 and Rick Ross was battling,
mm-hmm.
and how the whole CO thing came out. Didn't matter. Rick Ross, it's almost like it didn't happen. He continued with his career to where you would have thought that probably would have ended him, where he's talking all this big drug dealing shit, and now it gets revealed that he was a fucking correctional officer. Didn't touch him. He moved on, and it's just like it don't even like. What was it? We 15 years later, and it's like it never happened. So it's even worse now. So Drake gonna come back. Unfortunately, he gonna do some bullshit that's gonna be a hit, and gonna have people just forgetting this whole thing. I'm hoping that it don't happen that way. I'm hoping that motherfucking people keep the same energy, and it's like fuck this dude. But realistically, I don't think that's gonna happen. these young. I mean, his core audience. You know, so it's what is his core audience? Is his core audience, 18 to 25? Is it 18 to 40? Like what is Drake's core audience?
I would go 40 down to shit. I would go 40 down to teenagers.
Yeah, his base is wide.
Yeah, he got the girls.
Yeah, so
He got the girls from every ethnic group. You know what I'm saying?
so that's the answer right there. With
Yeah.
with his core group, with his core fan base going from 40 to fucking 15, then he has no. I mean, it's impossible for him to not come back because he can do some bullshit and it's gonna be right in line with his fan base and they're gonna go with it. So, unfortunately, okay. Flip side, what does this do for Kendrick? Being that he's now there's like you say, we got the East Coast people who are going against him, but I would say it's got to be about 75-35 in favor of Kendrick. So what does this do for him? Should he drop an album to piggyback this success, or should he just go back into a hole and just continue to be who he is?
You know, the only artist I could think about,
Kendrick?
Yeah, Kendrick.
only artist that I think I could think about that tried to ride the wave of disses is The Game. And I think when you try to ride the wave of all your diss records, it don't equal up. It don't end well for you. You have to either reinvent yourself and come to a different project because you can't. Those diss records are just a moment in time. Now people may still play it and all this other shit, but you need to push forward through that. You know, you need because we are now in a new era, new age where diss records are now hitting the charts. You know, back in the day, that never happened. You know, DJs might have played your shit in the club, or everybody in around the neighborhood might have played your stuff, but your disc records were really never being played on no radio or nominated for no Grammy and all this kind of stuff, and got the most spins on Spotify and all that kind of stuff like that. You know, you don't want to keep pushing that kind of energy like that if you ain't that kind of artist like that. You know what I'm saying? Because what will happen is that people that's trying to get into the game will start taking shots at you. And you don't want to always have to keep defending yourself. That's for the big dogs. That was cool. So Kendrick needs to move forward with getting back to doing what he do, spreading that energy, giving that vibe for the West Coast and anybody else that pays attention to him. Now he got all the ears and eyes on him, like Pac, one of his favorite artists, all eyes on him. So you got to do something with it. You don't have to come from a negative angle.
Well, let me clarify. So I wasn't saying that he needs to continue on this same pace. I mean, continue on the same thing of dissing. I wasn't talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, based off of what has happened with him and Drake, he is in the public eye now.
Yeah.
Like people who didn't listen to Kendrick Lamar before, they listening to him now. They like, damn, this nigga, he nice. So the question is, does he try to capitalize on that and put out a project, within the next couple of months, or does he just continue to simmer and be him and drop whenever he drop? Not like he gonna start being dissing motherfucker, but just put out a project.
Yeah, drop out of Iron Hot to me. What's your take, Jay?
The rumors are he's working on an album. So yeah, like you said, take advantage of the popularity right now. His songs are shit. He has his lead single already out. If he can,
Right.
Put an album together right now. But yeah, the rumor is the album is coming this year. Usually he would go every like 4 or 5 years before you get a new album. So I think it's been 2 years since his last one. So it's kind of around that time frame to put out another one. So yeah, to answer your question, go ahead and put out the next album and let's see what prove to people who you are and what you can do.
So this new album that's getting ready to come, shouldn't this be coming on his independent label?
Yep, he's done with that TDE deal, so
I
he's
thought.
independent. Yep,
That's what I thought. Okay,
this is his
okay.
first independent album.
He getting ready to eat now.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't. Now that just goes to show you how much I wasn't paying attention. I still thought he was TDE.
And see, that's why Drake was throwing them shots at him about the splits and all that, which was, we knew that was a lie.
So based on that, so before I knew that, I would have said just to not even worry about trying to put out a project right now, because I don't think he's going to gain any fans from this beef. They're going to think they're Kendrick fans. I mean, he could gain a few, but I don't think it would be like this great awakening. Like, I still think it would be motherfuckers who would have, like, they heard Not Like Us and they heard him get at Drake, and then they get his album, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, this is who this nigga is? Like, I still think he would be an acquired taste for a lot of people. But saying what you say as far as he's independent, yeah, definitely. Since he's gonna reap most of the he would reap most of the benefits from it. Yeah, capitalize on this notoriety that you got, whether it's whether it's fool's gold or not. Go ahead and capitalize on it. Since he's going to benefit more than the label would. All right, so once and for all, I got the gavel in hand. We've talked for about 50 minutes on this beef. Actually, I think we could go more, but
before you hit the gavel, I need you to explain why this beef was the best in hip hop history.
To me, it was the best because even though I don't like Drake and I don't like his beat, I didn't like none. Really didn't care for any of his songs. When you look at his status and the fact that we're talking three songs for Drake and 4 songs for Kendrick, or is it 4 and 4?
It's
4 and 4. So we got 8 songs out of this whole thing. A lot of beefs. You go your Kool Moe D's and LLs. We just talked about how Jay and Nas is basically 3 songs, maybe 4 tops. There was no back and forth with Biggie and Pop. NWA and Ice Cube, it was 1 song a piece, maybe. Yeah, 1 song a piece. So, I mean, we got 8 songs out of this whole thing, and then we got to see one of the top lyricists really display his genius, along with his diabolical fucking, I don't know if you all saw, I saw Marcellus Wiley. It was a clip that he interviewed. Well, he got a podcast. Anyway, he was talking about back in 2014 how Drake, dissed Kendrick, and I guess did one of y'all post that in our chat?
Yeah, that was me. The ESPN story. Interview.
Yeah, to where he posted that, Drake dissed Kendrick and then told ESPN that if they let it out that he's not gonna host the ESPYs that year and all that shit. So this nigga been holding on this shit for 10 years. Like, he been holding on to just waiting, biding his time.
Nah, they've been taking shots at each other. It ain't just been no one way. They've been taking shots, subliminals.
Subliminals, yes.
Yeah, they've been taking
but
shots.
But he waited 10 years to go all out. Like, so all this came from like that, right?
Nah.
I mean, no. That's what kicked it off, right?
No. The last straw had to be First Person Shooter. That's the song. That's the song with Kendrick and J. Cole, and I believe, I'm sorry, the song with Drake and J. Cole, and I believe Kendrick was supposed to be on it. And because I believe somewhere in one of them songs, he was like, he's like, I couldn't believe you sent the feature. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that he was sending the request for the feature. So it was supposed to be the big three. And I believe Kendrick's like, nah, I ain't doing it. And so I guess when he heard the final product, you know, he kind of took offense to them taking shots at him. You know what I'm saying? So that was the final straw of the buildup of okay,
Okay.
it's on, which is where we got the J. Cole 7-minute drill for his album. We got the Drake 2 songs, and then Kendrick just kind of said, and once he dropped his, it was on. We had something.
All right, so let's not lose focus. So your
Okay.
question was, why do I think it was the greatest hip hop beef of all time or rap battle of all time? So I gave my reasoning why. Jay, what about you? Why did? Oh well, first, if this does classify as the best to you, and if it does, why?
It's the two biggest artists in the game for a long time. For years, they've been the two biggest going at it in a battle that's been in the making for 10 plus years. So we finally, a lot of times we don't get to see this. We've only seen it a few times in rap where the two biggest win at each other. So it's just the size of the artist, the quality of the music, the rollout, how everybody was excited. Either side you were on, everybody was excited about this all at the same time. So, those circumstances around it make this the biggest battle
Yeah,
ever.
I definitely got to echo that because I remember the Jay and Nas beef, and it was like it wasn't, so the internet, wasn't really around, or if it's in the infancy stage. So think the rollout wasn't like it was now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I was in Japan actually and went to a club and was hearing Super Ugly
Mm-hmm.
and was like, what the fuck is this? I thought the last thing Jay did was Takeover. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely. I think definitely the time and age that we're in with technology definitely gave this a boost because to be sitting there fucking on your phone and watching, or listening to Drake shit, and then somebody text you and be like, "Hey, Kendrick drop." Like, what? So now you cut that off, and saying you switch screens and you go to that. Like, yeah, that shit definitely enhanced things to and to pique my interest because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of this shit I just ignore, but this one really got me going.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Squeak.
This one had to be the greatest because, like you mentioned earlier, we got 8 tracks out of this. That's the most that we ever got in any of these hip hop battles that I've ever been a part of, that I've ever witnessed. Also, we didn't have a DJ, the radio playing a part in it. Most of our previous hip hop battles and wars was all about the DJ playing the brand new this. It was so many times where I was online searching and on Instagram and looking at a particular site, and they just posted the new Drake and this. It's like, okay, let me go to YouTube. But it was so many platforms that played a part in this battle. And then what the same thing that Big Daddy Kane criticized the fans. It was the fans that was really letting you know who winning and who not. With instead of Twitter X, the fact checking. I've never seen that shit in any kind of battle. This was the first time fact checking played a part in battles. Like you think about the Cat Williams, Shannon Sharp interview, where everything he said in that damn interview, social media came and was fact checking everything, and it was like, okay, he wasn't lying. This battle was damn near the same thing, but people digging up, the kids and Dave Freeze and all this other shit. This was this was a complex battle. So in my opinion, hands down, this was one of the best. This is the best.
Yeah. I'm trying to go back to the Nas and Jay.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't have technology the way we have it now. I'm trying to think of some of the.
Nas wasn't hot.
Well, I'm not discussing his hotness. I'm just saying like the battle and the lines each one of them said.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the dissecting of the lines back then? I think it kind of was. Like you like say shit and you going back and like so we like nobody knew that he fucked his baby mama.
Right.
I mean, like we didn't know that. I mean, it might have been something, in New York or whatever that people knew, but like you went back and you found these things out, like, oh, that's what that means. So I think there's always kind of been a little bit of it,
But if you're not in that region, you don't know. Like we didn't think back when Pac was blasting on Biggie. Did we know if he was telling the truth or not about fake? Sounded good though, but did we know though? We wasn't in the mixing and it ain't like we saw no pictures. We just had to take his words.
But that's what I'm saying. The state that we're in now kind of precipitates that.
It does. It does.
Like you didn't have that access back then. So you have that access now to where you can look some shit up. So to me, I don't think you can necessarily hold that against the battle because that's just the state we're in. Now if it's 1988 and Rakim or Big Daddy Kane say something, we just gonna go with it. But shit, now in 2024. You don't have that same landscape. So motherfuckers might will check your shit and just make sure it's right.
I'm gonna tell you something that I never do that I did this time around. I looked at it like a academic's reaction. I watched him on live and he was doing some shit. And in the midst of his live, somebody typed in Kendrick just dropped. He was like, "What? Is this real?" Like, so he was just in the moment of doing something on live, and he went to see if Kendrick dropped, and he was playing this shit. And he just kept stopping it, like, "This is crazy. This is Meet the Grams." And Not Like Us had Not Like Us had Drake's house with the dots and shit like that, the red dots of the people, and I think Act looked that up, and that was like indicator from Google Maps of pedophiles and shit, registered pedophiles and shit like that. I was like, oh, this is new right here. This is new.
Yeah,
they use motherfuckers pictures of their house, man. Google Map of their house, like that's a whole different. That's a whole different talking about your family. I got a picture of your crib. And then you got the Drake shooting. We ain't talking about the Drake shooting yet. The security guard shooting.
Yeah. This is gonna be one of my last things on this topic because we have to try to move on to touch these other topics. But that 30-minute window where Drake dropped Family Matters and then Kendrick responded with Meet the Grams. That's one of the greatest moments in hip hop history within the last
hip hop
25 at least the last 25 years.
Nah, hip hop 50. That's never happened.
Yeah, I mean it couldn't necessarily happen. It couldn't happen 50 years ago or 30 years ago. I don't think it could. I mean,
the closest thing we have is 9/11 with artists dropping on the same day, and I think Jay may have had the #1 album when somebody like did Nas and Jay drop the same day or something like that, or 50 and Kanye dropping the same day. That
was 50 and Kanye. They supposed to have a little battle who gonna sell the most.
Yeah,
but I'm talking rap beef, rap battle. and you got a song because back in the day it used to be, well, we don't know shit about it because we wasn't in New York, but they used to play this shit on New York radio. Motherfuckers hear it, and then the next day, oh, we got that new someone, BDP song. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
So that 30-minute, and I don't even know if it was 30 minutes, but that window where he dropped his shit and then Kendrick responded with his, like that was like one of the greatest. Like I don't think I've had a moment like that in hip hop, and probably since the Nas J beef, and it wasn't necessarily like instant. It was I heard Takeover, and then shit, cause Blueprint dropped, and like September 11th, and then Nas shit didn't drop till like October or November of that year. So it
wasn't a week later or 2 weeks later. Oh, okay.
Nah, his album didn't drop until a month or two later, and then we heard Ether. Now could Ether have already been out there? Probably, but where I was at, I never heard it until I heard it on the album. So,
another hip hop beef we don't talk about, that's the 50 and the Ja Rule. I don't really consider that a back and forth in the moment because Ja Rule records seem like they came after the fact. So I don't consider that one of rap's biggest hip hop battles to me. I think this is clearly got the edge, in my opinion.
And see, it's kind of like not like Pac and Big, Ja Rule and 50. It's not really about rap.
Right.
It wasn't about who's better. It's over other shit.
Yeah.
So I honestly couldn't tell you what the fuck song Ja Rule did or going against 50. I know Wankster was supposed to be at Ja Rule, but
Clap back.
Yeah, that's the biggest one. Clap back.
Yeah, but that came years later.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, that was his song, but that came years later. It was like that shit was dragging on where he was taking shots at Ja. It wasn't really no rap battle like we see today. It was if 50 when did 50 drop? 2004?
2003, I believe.
No, I think when Ye 2003, right? Well, 50 before Ye?
No, yeah. 50 was 2003.
Okay, so 50 2003. So
I think when him and Kanye was going head to head, that was 50's second album. That was the Massacre, and whatever Kanye was gonna drop late registration, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because he kicked it off with Wankster, right? Which was like on the soundtrack of something, and then
that wasn't on Get Rich or Die Trying.
Wankster, nah, he had that other album. I mean, he had that other song where he had the Alex Thomas, had the gay guy talking. I forget what that song was. Going to Ja Rule. It was a pretty dope song. So he put 2 shots at Ja Rule before Ja Rule even responded back. Back down, I think is maybe, I don't know. Let me get out there. But that's it.
Yeah, you need Google to go through all the timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm gonna hit the gavel down on Kendrick Drake beef. Going once, going twice. All right. We're moving on. Next topic, the state of the NBA playoffs. So right now we are in the Eastern Conference. Boston is up 3-1 over Cleveland, and the Knicks and the Pacers are tied at 2-2, if I'm not mistaken.
Game 5 is on right now.
Right. They're tied at 5. They're tied at 2-2, right? So this game 5 of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it a 5-game or 7-game series?
7-game series.
7 games.
Do they even do 5 games anymore?
No, they got rid of that years ago. About damn near 10 years ago.
Damn.
And then in the East, in the Western Conference, we got
Thunder and the Mavericks.
Thunder and the Mavericks. They're tied at 2-2.
Yep.
And then Denver and Minnesota tied at 2-2.
Yep.
Okay. So that being said, what are your impressions of what's going on? Is it going the way that you thought? And who you think is going to pull out? Pause. Pull it out. Pause again.
Why would you pause on pulling out? Shit.
Pause.
Jared, Jay, I'm gonna start with you because I know it's gonna be quick.
You gotta skip me. I don't know what's going on. I'll tune in when they get it down to the last 2 teams. That's when I'll start paying attention.
Exactly. That's why I came to you first.
Yep.
All right, Squeak, what you got?
This shit is, I don't know, man. This shit is wacky. Like after Denver did what they did to the Lakers, I thought they had so much momentum, and then Minnesota just came out the gate just whooping on their ass. Now somehow Denver bounced back and we got a tied up series. Same thing with Dallas. Dallas is getting pushed around by OKC. They shit tied up. Boston is the only one that seemed like, they could have really pulled off a sweep with the Cavs. You know what I'm saying? Knicks and Pacers game. I mean, New York get the media, but they always find a way to disappoint you. They always find a way to disappoint you. They can never be consistent and keep playing with the momentum. They find a way to lose. They win tough games, but they found a way to lose. So I see at the end of the day, I still hold from the West. I still see Denver coming out the West, and I see Boston coming out the East. And if that happens, I see Denver winning it all, and I'm not going to change from that.
Okay.
That's my take.
Okay. I guess I have to. I was kind of put off. When people was just saying Denver, Minnesota went up 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
And, people was talking about it's going to be a sweep. And,
right.
I'm like, wait a minute, Denver is the defending champ and they're good. So I was kind of like, damn, how did we get here? So, they ended up coming back winning 2. And I think they're going to win tonight and take control of the series and close out Minnesota in 6. So as far as the other series, Dallas and OKC, Dallas gave away a game last night. They were leading pretty much the whole game, and they couldn't make free throws and ended up giving it away. But I think Luka and Kyrie, I think they'll be too much for OKC in the long run. And it'll be Denver and Dallas to play in the finals in the West. And then Boston, of course, is going to beat Cleveland. Boston, and I'm guessing the Knicks. The Knicks will pull it out against Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be an interesting series because Boston still, they have to win a championship.
Mm-hmm.
The pressure's on for them to win a championship. And so the press is going into Madison Square Garden. Whatever, you know, hometown boy Jason Tatum. He's still light skinned. He still got the curly baby waves and shit. So it's like I can't really go all in on him. And it'll be interesting to see him play in Madison Square Garden with all the bright lights, with all the stars, in attendance, and see if he can really bring it home.
Okay.
So I'll be definitely looking forward to that, to see him in Madison Square Garden, especially because the first two games will be in Boston. So let's say they split, they 1-1, and then Game 3 is in Madison Square Garden, and you got Chris Rock, Spike Lee, all these other motherfuckers in attendance. Can Jason Tatum step up and lead his team to victory and take back control of the series? So that's going to be what I'm looking forward to coming up in the playoffs.
So let me ask you a quick question. What's your thoughts on Phoenix losing to Minnesota? Is that what you expected, or did you expect the big three of Phoenix to pull it off on the young guns? You saw
They don't have a big three.
On paper.
Yep, but they play it on hardwood, so
Yeah, no doubt.
And another St. Louis cat, he just, he can't Bradley Beal,
Mm-hmm.
he can't get right. So that, and plus, you just can't put three people together. There has to be some sort of, they have to mesh. So LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh, they were together, and that shit didn't work until LeBron and D Wade figured out how to coexist. Because Chris Bosh, he accepted his role, but it was the other two that had to figure out their role. And once they did, that's when they won their 2 championships.
Mm-hmm.
Boston with KG, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce, they had the right mix because you had KD down low, you had Paul Pierce slashing, and then you had Ray Allen 3-point line, shooting threes. So you have to have the right mix of a big three. You just can't put 3 stars together and think that it's going to work. So I think that 3 that they put together with Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant, like none of them, they all do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They all do the same thing. So how they going? That's not going to work. So you saw it during the regular season. They weren't great during the regular season, and they went up against the Timberwolves, who had a better record, were a better team throughout the regular season, and you saw it. They swept them. So
I got one more question to ask you before you turn it over to Jay. Is Minnesota Edwards the new Michael Jordan, like everybody in the sports media trying to say?
He is not. Like they need to stop that shit, man. You gotta stop that shit. The niggas played. What is this second time in the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they was in there last year. I don't think he did too well last year.
He did.
So now he's had a few 40-point games. But this is what we live in. This is the time we live in. People, like, we're becoming the dinosaurs, our age group. You know what I'm saying? Because you got all these younger people who've never seen Jordan play.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've seen him play. We understand like who he was, or not necessarily just him, but just other people. Like they've never seen these people play, so they see people now and think, well, there's no way nobody from back then could be better than fucking Anthony Edwards. Like how that there's no way, but it's like they just don't get it. They don't get it, but they need to stop it for real. He got a ways to go.
Jay, when you go, I got one final NBA question I want to ask y'all too. It's a Laker.
Jay already went.
Okay.
I threw it to him first.
You do it back. Say, hey, what's y'all thoughts on the whole Darvin Ham being fired and being labeled as the scapegoat for the Lakers downfall? You know, I'm a big LeBron fan, but
yeah, you go ahead. I want to hear what you got to say on this.
You know, man, listen. At the end of the day, I'm a big LeBron fan. It's two things that I don't like about him that kind of mess up his GOAT status. I don't rock with that. You lose and you storm your ass off the court shit. I don't like that part. And I don't like the not taking accountability and thinking that you are the smartest. Yeah, I'm not here to debate that shit, but always blaming the coach and getting the coach ass up out of there. I don't like those two things about my boy. I rock with him, you know what I'm saying? But that shit just really rubbed me the wrong way this year. You know what I'm saying? Like Rob Pelinka got to take some kind of onus on what he did in the roster he put together. You know who you're going up against. And Anthony Davis has already been honest and told you he ain't that dude. He ain't that dog like that. He'll play his ass off. So you need to get him some dogs in there. Air quote Dwight Howard. Get that motherfucker back there so he can do the dirty work for Anthony Davis and he can do what he can do. So you if you Jenny Buss, how you keep letting Rob Pelinka skate? And this motherfucker keep putting together these old, I ain't gonna call them Swerp ass, I'm not gonna call them Swerp ass roster teams, but these soft ass teams. They soft, man. Like the Lakers cannot keep and maintain a lead. They was, for every game they played against Denver, they was leading at halftime. Now I admit Darvin Ham was really like trying to get it together, man, but look what he got though. He ain't got no real dogs and shit. Like Rob Pelinka let a lot of people go out their damn door. He let a lot of damn people go out their door. So I just want to hear y'all little take on it. I was kind of set back. I thought that was wrong what they did. You know what I'm saying? The man, second year they won the in tournament championship, but then they fire him. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't like they got swept, but they lost. I don't think you can blame the coach more so without trying to blame the GM. But that's just my take on it. I want to hear you guys take on that.
Jay, you got a take on that?
You know I don't. Come on now.
But Jay, you're a Lakers fan. You don't give a shit about it?
Not right now. I mean, okay. LeBron is old. What's in there? Anthony Davis is hit or miss. I don't really know too much about the rest of the roster. I mean, but shit, only one team can win. So one team per year can win. So, it's not their year. And, LeBron is what, maybe 1 or 2 years away from retiring. So, he did it. He has his rings. So,
man, hang that shit up.
Deal.
Hang that shit up. You didn't already beat Kareem. Hang that shit up.
Yeah. It doesn't make me upset, shit.
What's your take, Ryan?
LeBron does a lot of whole ass shit and hides his hand. He does a lot of whole shit.
You talking about the complaining?
No, just not just that. He does a lot of this shit to me on the court, off the court. He does a lot of whole shit. Like he real passive aggressive and a lot of shit. Like last night. Like this nigga
at the Cavs
decides
game.
to go to the Cavs game.
Yeah.
And I was watching First Take this morning, and the fat boy Windhorse, and like Windhorse been with LeBron the whole journey, and he was like, LeBron, one of his pet peeves is being on time. Like he wants to be on time for everything, wants people to be around him, be on time. And what does he do yesterday? This nigga walks in late to the game so he can walk in and have people acknowledge him. You know what I'm saying? The game was going, and now all of a sudden, this fucking big 6'9" ass nigga walks in with his wife and that big furry ass hat. So now all the attention is on them. You know, now people got to stand up and clap and do all this shit. So just little passive aggressive shit like that. Like, so obviously he's showing up to shoot a shot at the Lakers. Like, hey, you know, hey, they still love me in Cleveland. Hey, y'all niggas better do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? So just little whole shit like that. I'm not that I don't fuck with him over. Your question about Darvin Ham, it's LeBron's fault because
along with AD.
if LeBron wanted him like you see, like I've seen this nigga throw fucking temper tantrums on the floor.
Yeah, I saw that too. This shit.
Like jumping up and down, like because the nigga didn't challenge a call or something. Him ice grilling him after in the huddle or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's on LeBron because he got to say to be like, hey, no, he good. It's on us. It's on us to get this shit together. He all right, you know. You know, he could have saved that man's job if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if they put that white boy in there, I'm forever gonna be a LeBron hater.
You talking about JJ Redick?
Yeah, if that motherfucker get that job, you know, I don't.
He never had no coaching experience, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. He never had no coaching experience, right?
No, he's not. But if he gets that job, then I wish the worst for LeBron. I mean, not in life, but just basketball wise, I wish the worst for him.
Man, listen.
Because that'd be some bullshit.
Yeah. I hate to admit it, but yeah. It ain't looking good from a G, man. It ain't looking good for him.
Oh yeah, he it's over for him as far as winning championships. It's just a matter of I don't even know what it is now because he's not gonna win a championship. And the more this shit goes on, to me,
that's his legacy.
Well, not necessarily his best with his legacy. His legacy, it is what it is. But I'm speaking of that bubble championship. So he's been there, 5-6 years? They've missed the playoffs a couple of years. They've been in the play-in a couple of years. They've been swept, and they got a championship. And the only thing about that championship is, okay, they had the league quit for 3 months, and then they went to the bubble, and then only a select few teams went to that bubble. You know what I'm saying? So that championship is looking more and more suspect as these years go on because you know if they either miss the playoffs or they're in the play-in.
But they ain't playing with the same roster though.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
The roster that they won the championship with, they were loaded.
Doesn't matter. It's LeBron James.
Yeah.
It's LeBron James. So the roster they were playing with when they won because of the pandemic. And people don't want to admit that, but it's becoming more and more clear. They won because of the pandemic. You got a brittle Anthony Davis who can't stay healthy. So now you get a 3-month break. You know what I'm saying? You get a 3-month break. And then when it starts up, all the teams ain't there.
Yeah. I just think they took advantage of because you know the playoffs is about you have a home field advantage and you get the energy from your fans. You didn't have it in the bubble. Nobody got home field advantage in the bubble. And not to say that worked in favor of the Lakers. You just had to gut that shit out.
It's not about necessarily the bubble working in their favor, but the fact that you got a guy who stay healthy
and now in the middle of the season, there's a 3-month break. That helped them. That helped, and then you got LeBron in his 17th, 16th year. Shit, it helped that he didn't have to play basketball for 3 months, and he was fresh going into that bubble. On top of the fact that it wasn't everyone wasn't involved. I mean, you can't take it away from him. But if he's there for 5-6 years, and either you're in the play-in, which you know that shouldn't be what you should be. You shouldn't be in the play-in with 2 top 75 players on your team.
I mean,
or
man,
you missing the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, in what 5 years they didn't went to 3 coaches. David.
They went to Darvingham and whoever was before. I forgot who the fuck was before him.
Frank Vogel. Guess who they won with?
Yeah, so that's 2.
Who was there? Frank wasn't there before when LeBron first got there. I forget who that. Walton. Not Bill Walton. What's his son name?
Luke Walton.
Lou Walton. So
I can't even remember.
Yeah, Luke Walton. Luke Walton was there when they drafted Alonzo Ball.
Yeah, but LeBron wasn't there when they drafted.
Exactly, but he came that following year. He came.
I don't think Luke Walton made 2 years.
Well, he was when he there when LeBron. When he there when LeBron. I thought Luke was coach when LeBron got there. I thought Luke was I could be wrong. I thought he had 3 coaches. I could be wrong. But I thought he had 3 coaches. But to me, the point I was making is that they've played musical chairs with the roster and musical chairs with their coaches. So they haven't had a consistent coaching staff and in the same lineup for all those time frames. They've done a piss poor job of keeping and getting rid of key players. Like they dropped the ball several times. I mean, that whole Russell Westbrook, that was a dumbass move that the Lakers made. But hey, that's enough about that ripping and ratting. What you got for your swerp of the week, Jay?
It's a crazy one. Probably won't even sound like it makes sense, but it's the back to work movement for remote workers, where companies or organizations are trying to get people who work remote to come back to work, saying, they want people to interact more. So that whole situation is my swerp of the week.
How you feel about that?
I think it's unfair to a lot of people who don't really need to see their coworkers face to face to do their job well. I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense. If it's working, why change it?
Well, working remote is probably one of the biggest blessings in disguise. It allows you to do so much, I'm saying, while being at home and getting your work done and stuff like that. It's like I work more working from home than I do in the office. You know what I'm saying?
So wait a minute. You say I missed that. Who was this swerp of the week?
Remote. Go ahead, Jay.
It's the whole back to work movement that's happening right now, where companies are trying to get remote workers to come back, basically start working remote, come back to the office.
Gotcha. I'm sorry, Squeak, go ahead.
Huh?
Just to add on to that, Walmart is doing it right now. They actually are making some people switch cities. Like, stop your remote work, and you need to switch your city if you want to keep your job.
What?
So, yeah, they just announced it, I think, today.
That's foul.
Yep. But go ahead, my fault.
No, I was just saying how it's a blessing in disguise. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, working into the office, yeah, you don't really need to be driving and coming in and talk. You could just do your job. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I like that working, remote working.
How many days this week you work from home?
Uh, 5. You know, I'm a full time remote
Okay.
work.
What about you, Jay?
1 day in the office and 4 days remote. But to be honest, and I'm not blowing my own horn, sometimes I go in 2 days a week just to go. It kind of helps the week go by faster. You get a lot more done. I get a lot more done if I go in,
Mm,
every once in a while, an extra day per week. But right now, 4 days home, 1 day in the office.
okay. Okay.
What about you?
Yeah.
You full remote?
Same thing. 1 day a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 day a week. Um, and I do my days in the office on Wednesday because it kind of middle of the week, hump day. Kind of breaks things up a little bit. So
Yeah. Yeah.
um, okay. Squeak. Who's your swerp of the week?
My swerve of
I
the
should I
week.
should go before you and steal
Go ahead.
yours, but no,
Go
I,
ahead.
I ain't gonna go. Go ahead, cause I
My my swerve of the week is fellow Compton rapper.
yeah, I already knew that game.
Yeah, game, Mr. Irrelevant. He came in my boy Ross. I didn't like that. I wonder how Kendrick looks at that. It's like Kendrick is in the middle of this beef and he's trying to put his entire foot on Drake neck, and here comes Gang, I guess defending off Ross for coming up with the BBL Drizzy, and they didn't took that damn song and remixed the shit, funny as shit. You know what I'm saying? So that he game is my he's, he's my swerve of the week, man. I just thought that shit was just corny.
Yeah, definitely corny. Um, I got. I think I got. I got three. I got three swerves of the week.
Okay.
Okay, so my first swerve of the week is Shaq.
That's okay.
So backstory on him.
We got to talk
Uh,
about that. Go ahead.
so well, not with him, his wife. That
I
ain't
know.
that ain't yeah. So Nikola Jokic won the MVP, and they played a game, and then they interviewed him after the game, and in the midst of interviewing this man, he's like, "Congratulations! I just want to tell you, I don't think you should have won. I don't think you should have won MVP. Like that shit is whack, nigga. Like why would you do that?" And then Shannon Sharp called him out on that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like Shaq always does this with centers in particular
Mm-hmm.
because for whatever reason he just thinks that he takes it some sort of way if you're talking about another center. Case in point, Dwight Howard. Like he always shitted and continues to shit on Dwight Howard. You know, and he does it with a lot of centers and a lot of players. How he just hates on them. So
Mm-hmm.
and Shannon correctly called him out on that.
He did.
And then Shaq came back with just silly, silly, immature grade school type shit. Like you remember, like when you get into an argument at school with another nigga, and he'd be like, "Yeah," and when he just out of things to say, "I get more pussy than you get. I got more bitches than you." You know, that's they go to, like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, when they don't have anything else to say. I bet I got more bitches than you. That's Shaq. That was basically Shaq's response to Shannon because it hit home so much because it's
Mm-hmm.
true. The
Yeah.
nigga's super sensitive and a super hater against all the against current players, especially current centers, to where he talked about how much money he got and how Shannon was never the player that Shaq was and all that shit. So Yeah, so Shaq is one of my 3 Swerps of the week, just for being just a hater and just a bitter ass nigga, just because he only got one MVP.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And here this man gets his third, and you gonna be like, I don't think you deserved it. Like, I'm kind of like, I would have took my headset off if I was Jokic. Like, all right, I'm done. Oh, you don't deserve to have this interview. How about that? So my second and third Swerps of the week, they go to our fellow podcast members who are not here. And not necessarily because they're not here, because things happen, life happens, but not even responding and telling us, hey, I am available, I'm not available, because hey, we're flexible. Okay, you're not available tonight. Okay, when can you be available? So our fellow the other 2 members of this podcast are my Swerps of the week for not even responding or saying nothing. One of them I kind of understand because that's what they do, but the other one, he better than that. He better than that.
Hey, those are good swerves. Let's go back to the Shaq thing, man. Shannon hit him with nothing but facts. I'm gonna be honest. I used to think Kobe was hating on Shaq when he said everything he said. But Shaq proved him right. He proved him right. Here's this guy that came straight out of high school. And people seem to tell Kobe's story as if, he came out of high school and he was a starter. He wasn't no starter. They set him on the bench. He eventually got there. He was good enough to start, but they set him on the bench for whatever reason. And he called Shaq ass out for not being in shape, and the shit just turned out to be true. But I hadn't dawned on it when Shannon was going back, rebuttaling with Shaq. I hadn't dawned on it that, yeah, you were the most dominant center, but you only won one MVP. That's your damn fault. That's your damn fault. And he's now doing the same shit Wilt Chamberlain does. Shit on people that's current when he should be giving it up, because it ain't like Shaq had no commercials. You know what I'm saying? Like if you never seen him play, you know who he is. If you're 11 years old, you know who Shaq is. You know who Michael Jordan is and stuff like that. So it's not like the average basketball fan is gonna ever forget him. But man, you ain't gotta act like that. Like I'm a Shaq fan. I like Shaq. I like Shaq. But that shit he did, that was corny. That was most shit he pulled. Especially do that live on TV like that. That was corny. Now let's go to the whole shiny shit, the comment she made. I'm come around. I'm gonna come around with this. How do you all feel about hearing your ex say that she was never in love with you? We're gonna talk about Shaq shit first, but then we're gonna come to that conversation. Was Shiny wrong, in y'all opinion, currently being married to another man, and you write this in the book and you put this out there? Was she out of line, in y'all opinion?
I'll go. No, I don't think so. I mean, this is when you a celebrity, you sign up for this shit. Like, this is the type of shit that'll happen. It's gonna be tell all. I mean, if you don't do an NDA, I mean, this type of shit'll happen. And the fact that she said she never loved him, I mean, okay, I can understand that. This nigga was, he was a hot nigga. He was a hot nigga, like, because he came in and then Jordan retired maybe a couple of years, within a year or two. So Shaq was like the top guy. And he's making a lot of money. He's rapping. He's doing all this shit. So it's very feasible that a woman could get with him and not really love him. They be in love with the lifestyle, in love with what he can provide. So the fact that she said that, I don't think that's shocking. It's I'm sure that happens a lot in that arena where you get a lot, you get athletes who able to provide a certain lifestyle, and women may not love them, but shit, they love what they can get out of them. So now when you talking in a regular lifestyle, then yeah, it probably would hit hard. It probably will hit home a little harder when if you work in a regular 9 to 5, just a normal lifestyle, and
Mm-hmm.
then y'all divorced and you find out your wife never loves you. Yeah, it might hit you a little harder, but it is what it is.
What's your take on it, Jay?
Yeah, I don't really care if that's how she feels. That's how she feels. What can you do? But the question, I don't know if the question was how would I feel. I think that
Mm-hmm.
was the question.
It's 2 part. Yes. What you think about her? Then how would you feel if you heard that?
It wouldn't really bother me too much. You know how people get when they break up.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be salty, so it wouldn't bother me too much. Unless in my mind I thought everything was cool, and then it comes out of nowhere. But nine
Mm-hmm.
times out of 10, you know how the relationship went, and you know how you feel about the other person, and how they feel about you. So it wouldn't be a shock. I don't think it
They
would.
and they both was cheating on each other.
Yeah,
So you know, she writing a book. I mean, you got to sell a book, right?
You
gotta
know,
say
I,
something. Yeah.
I see this shit from a whole different angle. One, you got kids by this man, so shit you say can be used against you. What your kids look like? They remember when you all were together. It's just some shit you just shouldn't say. You could take that shit to your grave. That's barbershop talk. You know what I'm saying? Your kids remember when you all were happy and whatever, whatever. Now that you married, like I wouldn't want my motherfucking current wife talking about her ex-husband like that. Like that would make me feel like shit. It's just a matter of time before you say the same shit about me. Like the fuck you? How long was you with him? Like you with him all that motherfucking time. You claim you don't love this motherfucker. Like you gave this man 4 fucking babies. You know what I'm saying? You left a man to be with him, but you ain't love. But you was never in love. Man, stop that shit. Like you don't get this shit out of here. Like it's just some shit that just gonna make you look kind of foolish saying it. You know what I'm saying? Like I've heard people say, "I love you, but I'm not in love with you," and that's girlfriend boyfriend kind of shit. But we're talking about marriage where you got multiple children. You know what I'm saying? Like that's their father you speaking down on. Because listen, I guarantee you, just gonna hit a little different if Shaq said. And this was the first time I ever heard him take the high road. He was like, "Blessings to you." You know what I'm saying? Blah 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 blah. That was the first time I ever heard him take that high road with that maturity behind it and shit like that. And I thought that was funny for him considering what he had just did. You know what I'm saying with the whole Jokic thing. So I just thought that was smart how he played that, and not smart on her end because your kids gonna. I think your kids gonna look at you funny. Like, what you mean? Like.
So why would they look at you? Why would they look at her funny? Like
Because
aren't so their kids are basically grown, if with the last couple ones or coming out of college maybe.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, what does that mean for them to hear their mama say they never loved their daddy?
So when you see your parents kissing and hugging and you like, y'all get a room, you seen all that, you got those memories of that. So to hear this shit right here, it's like, are you joking? Or are you just trying to sell a book? Because I remember when y'all was blah 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 blah. It's just hard to kind of comprehend, and some things that you just probably should never say like that. It don't need to be expressed out there in the world like that. That is my personal opinion.
Okay. Have you ever been lovey dovey with someone you didn't love? I mean, you show the physical characteristics of it, but you're not really in love with them. Have you ever experienced that?
Nah, no. But I love. I don't like tiptoe around it and play around. I love. Now, yeah, you can grow out of love or you channel your feelings another way. But I love. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no, like, oh, it's love today, but yesterday, like, nah, I don't play
What
with
about you, Jay? Have you ever loved someone but not been in love with them? So maybe your actions maybe showed or your actions maybe conveyed love, but you really weren't in love with them.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much everybody. We
I
all,
know.
yeah,
I know.
be in a situation where,
Yeah.
they into you more than you are into them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that,
Yeah.
so when you say showing love, what are you doing if you not like if are you saying like the first couple of stages of like the relationship, or you just talking about you meet somebody, y'all talking, and she loving on you, or you loving on her but not in love with her?
That you mean you're in a relationship, but you're in a relationship for a reason.
Right.
You know, that person is providing something for you, or they're you're in a better position being with that person than you would be without them.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's a good way to put it.
you're definitely not in love with them, but shit. Okay, well shit. You giving me this opportunity to do this and do that. Fuck. All right, shit. You know, I'll
You
Okay.
settle, or it's like good enough.
Uh,
I think that's kind of what you're saying.
So I would say this. I don't think there's ever been somebody that has mistaken me for exuding love, but then asked me and was shocked that that answer was no. If that makes any sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, once I love, I think you're gonna know it. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm displaying to you, I don't know how you can gather that I love you. Never told you. You know what I'm saying? Never told you. My actions are not that of love. They're just respectable and nice and cordial. But to me, that's not love, though. You know what I'm saying? You being cordial, you being respectful, we vibing, but that ain't love, though. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion of it.
yeah, like this situation is totally normal to me
Okay.
on the outside looking in, based on the financial situation. Like I can't remember what her situation was before she met Shaq, but yeah, I can see it. Like this nigga he look like a gremlin. Shit. But shit, he the hottest thing on the block. He got a lot of money and a lot of notoriety. Shit. Okay. When women do that shit all the time, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, we do it too. Like, but I think a woman is easy. So
You say we do it. You say we do it.
we fuck with people that we not in love with, and we'll make them believe what we want them to believe for as long as we want to be in that situation. Don't don't act like I'm out there on the island, nigga.
I'm saying that because listen, it's a difference between
I
faking a
get what I saying. You're saying after all these years and all that. I
yeah,
think that's what you're leaning on. The
yeah.
fact that they was in a relationship for so long. But shit, that money will make you motherfucking shit. Just feel that way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying even in the sense of the dating, like you can't think I love you. We live in the same city. My parents live in the same city. You ain't never met none of them. You ain't never met my motherfucking family. Like you can't speak for me to say that I love you and shit. I'm just gaming you. You know what I'm saying? there's a big damn difference between love and running game on a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? There's a big damn difference between that. And shit, like I don't know. I was just taken back by that. Like I don't know if she was doing that because she in a new situation or not to try to make old boy look cool. And I'm like, man,
Yeah, but like I said earlier, I mean, there's you gotta take it for what it's worth.
okay.
She was in that the situation, the financial standing that being with Shaq put her in, and now after the fact, you know, she writing a book. What you gonna do? You gonna put something spicy in that motherfucker? You know, it's just like with Scottie Pippen with his book. You know, this nigga went ham on Jordan about this and that. You know, Jordan, you know, he never gave me no props. He was selfish. He was that. And then you go back on YouTube and you can see a video where Jordan is giving this nigga props right after they win a championship. So, you know, this nigga doing this shit, you know, he trying to sell a book. So there's a little bit of that too with Miss O'Neal. Well, is she still going by O'Neal or she with a new nigga?
I think I don't know, it was probably maybe hyphen or something like that. Maybe hyphen.
So she's still eating off that name.
Yeah. All right, I just wanted to get y'all feedback on that. That was one of them topics that came up during a couple of weeks ago. I just wanted to get y'all a topic on that feedback.
Okay.
End on that note.
Okay. So we snuck a topic in, an extra topic in for the viewers after the Swerp of the week. So this wraps up episode 50. The motherfucking Kendrick Drake episode. Once again, if you like what we do and like the content we put out, like, share, subscribe, and we're signing off. This is ROD, the notorious one. We got Squeak, aka Hughes Carter III, and then we got my man Jay over there chilling in the cut. So
people.
Peace. Y'all ain't like us.
Monster on the beat, ho, Debo, any rap nigga, he a freak throw, man down, call her Amber Lamb.